Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, Today's topic is going to be on the throat chakra. I was reminded of a download that I received back in 2023 of January. And before I go into sharing what I received currently, I'm going to share this download that I received back then. It was shared via the written word, so I never put this in audio form, and so I'm going to be doing that right now. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to go into the current download I received in continuation of that to expound. So again, welcome. Thanks for taking the time out to listen. If you find that anything resonates, please like, share, and subscribe, to keep up with, when I'll, drop downloads as they received. Okay. So, back in January 2023, I received a download that I entitled Block Throat Chakra ? Right? So the question that was posed was, how does one know their chakra is blocked, right? For example, if one has their throat chakra shut down or hindered or blocked, who determines when it is clear? Is there some, I don't know how to say this word. I feel like I'm going to jack it up. Parameter that sets a standard for speech, as to say this person is not saying enough or saying too much. Like, who makes this judgment call, right? And so I began to reflect on how I love to write, because it allows me to articulate my thoughts in a manner of contemplation, right? But I also appreciate others who are quick-witted, being inspired at their cognition, when reasonably discussing matters with others on the fly. However, I had to question, is it not our choice to say much, little, or nothing at all, right? It wasn't a matter of just being shut down as a child that made me think about this. Like when being told I talk too much. But I learned that keeping quiet as I got older allowed me to gain information and to refrain from speaking on the topic prematurely. There were times when I wouldn't speak on something that I wanted to speak on. So I practiced doing this a lot when I felt unsure, only to learn later it was beneficial, right? Because I got more insight that connected the dots that would have not otherwise been connected had I determined what I was thinking was the whole of the matter, because it wasn't, right? The experience I learned was my reward. As I gained more confidence in following my inner guidance system. In other words, I didn't have to ask the next person to validate this experience. The confidence gained is the fruit of my labor, right? And if others should think my throat chakra is blocked, that is their right, based on their own experience by which they filter reality, right? I don't have control over that. So I pretty much concluded that that would be like saying a dancer has their throat chakra blocked because they choose to express themselves through body language, as opposed to a singer, who uses their throat chakra all the time. Yeah. So if one doesn't like to write, right, as much as I do, does that mean that they're blocked because they choose speech over writing to express themselves, right? I believe that sounds pretty ridiculous. And again, where does the judgment come from, you know, with regards to believing one's throat chakra is blocked? I'm not saying that one can't have and determine that there is issues with that, but I'm saying, where does the judgment come from? Who makes that judgment call? Yeah. Because even if you're talking to someone outside yourself, you would have to agree with them now, wouldn't you? So, it's my understanding that the judgment comes from us, because there is nothing someone can say or do to affect our emotions without our consent, meaning it would have to resonate for agreement to occur. Okay, so present day today, March 11th, right? Is it March 11th? Yeah, March 11th, Tuesday, March 11th. My ancestors wanted to go deeper with that with me today. And so part 2 for this, part 1, right, was block throat chakra, right? Yeah, that's the question. Do you got a block throat chakra? Question mark, right? And part 2 is, no one can block our throat chakra. This is like, they're getting right down to the nitty gritty. They're just, this is the energy that I was picking up on. It's like, we're just going to get to it, right? So no one can block our throat chakra. Yes, you read that title correctly. No one can block your throat chakra. This may come as a shock to those who have bought into the idea that they can be possessed against their will, but that simply isn't true. An evil spirit cannot possess your throat chakra as to stop you from communicating what you want to communicate. If there is something you want to say, meaning it is made clear to your mind, and you open your mouth to say what it is you envisioned, but it's not exactly what you thought, right? Meaning you're not satisfied by your communication because there was a disconnect between what you saw in your mind's eye and what you said, then that's simply a matter of exercising your throat chakra, okay? This doesn't have to be done publicly. It's similar to when a singer practices singing in private. You know, I've heard someone say this when I used to, go to church and things of that nature. I remember someone saying that they would practice singing in the mirror all the time, right? So, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that with people who like to do conferences and public speaking, I'm pretty sure they don't hesitate to practice within their home. Yeah, their diction, right? So here we're being told it's a matter of exercise. So blaming one's inability to articulate what it is they want to say in their mind's eye has nothing to do with being possessed. It's just a lack of exercise. If you are presented with these type of thoughts, those are your shadows. And the way you work them out is by actually working them out, right? You're not confident in speaking on what you see in your mind's eye because you haven't experienced doing this enough. Enough meaning you haven't determined by way of your own judgment that you are satisfied with your communication. We want to make it very clear that this doesn't have anything to do with others but yourself, right? Once you're satisfied with the work you have done with yourself, there will be no room for doubt. Your shadows help you to see where improvement is needed, where exercise is needed. It's a personal reflection, and depending on the angle light hits your body will determine how dark that shadow is. The darker the shadow means that the light the divine informing is up against a lot of resistance within us. The angle is unfamiliar to us, but that means the reward is greater once the inner formation takes root like a seed. The rooting takes place with experience. Facing the shadow, that means we're not running away from it, but we are working through the resistance. Instead of allowing the frustration of not communicating the way we believe we should, we focus on what we want, which will have us practicing our diction or speech until we are satisfied with the results. What we deem satisfying is determined by us. We cannot fool ourselves into believing we are satisfied, because if we try to, the shadow will still be there to remind you, right? And this reminder may feel antagonizing because we believe we don't deserve the hostile remarks that our shadows give voice to. But that outlook is truly subjective. When a singer practices singing, are they not given evidence to their dissatisfaction with what they hear? They are exercising their vocal cords and the effort to sing, are they not? And to be satisfied with the hearing, right? And when they are satisfied with what they hear, they become more confident in their singing abilities, do they not? Right? There is scientific evidence that the throat chakra, your neck, can experience stress, and that is due to misunderstanding its effectiveness. We are truly the first responder to our feelings. So if you desire to speak on something you've thought about and you decide to do so, but you're not satisfied with your communication, yeah, hold on one second. I'm just looking at this. Yeah. We are the first responder to our feelings. So if you desire to speak on something you've thought about and you decide to do so, but you're not satisfied with your communication, you keep trying by being focused on the results you want. Yeah. If you decide not to speak further on the topic, then that decision must be made deliberately. Otherwise, a shadow will be created to remind you there is more work to be done due to your dissatisfaction. At least that's what I'm learning in my spiritual growth. That deliberate decision not to talk about a subject anymore must be backed by sound reason in order to rest your case of dissatisfaction. Okay? If you wish to attribute your shadow to an evil spirit, you can. Right? That's your free will. But just know you created it to create checks and balances within yourself. There is no possession as if this thing is outside of your control. There is only the need to address it within yourself, like the self-governed being you are capable of being. Believing others can control your will is a form of technology. If you believe others can control or possess your will against your will, you would find no need to govern that, now would you? Yeah? You wouldn't even consider that a possibility. And that is considered a loss, right? With regards to your growth, because you won't be able to build your confidence apart from that satisfaction that is gained from doing shadow work. The very confidence that is necessary to move forward in your spiritual journey. So, we'll close with this. Those shadows are only likened to the monsters lurking under your bed, i.e., an example, creepy or evil, when you insist on sleeping when they are bumping around in the night to get your attention. Because when you have less distractions, that is when you'll most likely hear them. Yeah? So you do well not to run away, because they will only appear to get bigger. And if you thought they were scary to confront before, how much more when they go bigger, consider you haven't addressed the problem with an answer, you know? So be fruitful in spirit, yeah? And that concludes, yeah, no one can block our throat chakra. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.